Good morning, Yoni Ben Menachem, Director of IBA Radio. Thank you for joining us in Jerusalem.
You're welcome.
Barely a week since Annapolis. The ink's barely dried on the joint statement. And we heard over the weekend that President Mahmud Abás is still refusing to recognize Israel as a Jewish state. Perhaps you can give us your input into the situation as you see it.
It was obvious all along, and they will never accept it. I think the President Mahmud Abás referred to it in his statement when he talked about the Israeli Arabs. We have more than 1 million Israeli citizens who are Palestinians who live in the state of Israel. And the Palestinians have been saying all along that this Israeli demand is a racial demand, because to exclude, if they declare or they will agree to declare that Israel is a Jewish state, they will exclude the 1 million Palestinians who are the citizens of Israel from the state of Israel, and this gives the notion that Israel wants to get rid of these Israeli Palestinian citizens and maybe to transfer them to Palestine in the future agreement, in the future arrangement that will be, and this is very worrying for both the Israeli Arabs and both for the Palestinian Authority. Officially, it's true, they identify with Israel. Officially, they say we are Israeli citizens, but of course they cannot. When they relate to their own people, they say we are from Palestinian origin. So they live in a conflict, and now this Israeli demand is putting them in a more of a conflict, because they are very afraid. Because in the negotiations there were many ideas to exchange territories between Israel and Palestine.
What can you see a way out, or a way the sides could maybe reach an agreement, or do you think this is going to cause a problem?
About this issue? There will be no agreement about this thing. The Palestinians will never accept the idea of a Jewish state. They will never accept for it, and they are supporting actually what the Israeli Arabs are demanding, that Israel will be a state for the whole of the inhabitants of all the citizens, and not only for the Jewish citizens.
Is it still too early to perhaps say that Annapolis was a photo opportunity and no more?
We cannot predict the future, but it's the whole thing is the whole thing of Annapolis is how it's perceived by the parties. Okay, even if eventually it will not be a photo op, all the parties perceived it. They will not admit to it, but they perceive it as a photo op, and it's enough to open the Palestinian cartoons today in the Arab newspapers or what we call the cartoons, and to see that you see a dove with cameras on it. Mm-hmm. So this gives you the general feeling that this is what they think, this is how they perceive it, and even if it eventually will come out to something more serious, more than a photo op, they still relate to it. And I think most of the Israelis, if you look at the general public opinion polls, and also the Palestinian public opinion poll, they perceive it as a photo op and nothing more than that.
Abbas is considered to be a weak Palestinian leader, and Hamas is gaining strength. How do you read sort of the coming weeks or months?
I think there's no chance. I don't think there's a chance to meet the goals of the Annapolis summit, which means to finish the negotiations by the end of 2008, by the time that President Bush will finish his term. It's not possible to do it. It's a very complicated negotiations, and I think the negotiations will continue over a few months, but I don't see any real progress. On the Palestinian arena, there are a few problems concerning Abbas' ability to do something on the ground as far as the implementation of the first phase of the roadmap is concerned. So I don't see, and Israel has to freeze the settlements. I don't see all these things happening.
And Hamas in Gaza continue to threaten to respond to the IDF operations, especially over the weekend, in which 6 operatives were killed. And Barak, the defense minister, has constantly said that the time is approaching for a wide-scale IDF operation in Gaza. Do you think that within a matter of weeks we'll see that happening?
It might happen. We might be also vacuum into it more quickly, because if, God forbid, Qassam rockets will fall on a school or kindergarten in Sderot, and God forbid children will be killed or people will be killed, then what do you think Israeli government is going to do? They will have to react immediately in order to keep the deterrence. So I think eventually we cannot avoid any wide-scale military attack in Gaza. It will happen. It's only a matter of time, and the clock is ticking, and we don't know exactly when it will happen, but it will surely happen.
Yoni Ben Menachem, thank you very much
You're welcome.
for joining us.
Thank you.